Hello, and welcome to Out of Office, the weekly news show where we talk about everything in the ski industry, the snowboard industry, and beyond. This week, we've got a bunch of great stories to talk through, one of which is all about Hadley Hammer. Hadley came on the show just to kind of chat about what her plan is going forward. Last week, she announced that she's retiring from professional skiing, and whatever that means, but she is definitely not retiring from the storytelling aspect of the sport. And that's honestly where I think she shines the brightest. So listen to Hadley talk about what this has all been like for her. Hadley, first of all, welcome to Out of Office. That is what we're calling the news show. That is what we're doing on a weekly basis here. It's good to have you.
Thanks for having me.
What's going on? So like you emailed me and kind of said it in a DM before that, but like what exactly is your news to talk about here?
Yeah, I just wanted to make the announcement that I'm moving away from performance-based skiing. You can call it a retirement, but I'm certainly not going to stop skiing, so I don't know if that word is appropriate, but essentially like I wanted to be able to drive in multiple lanes and experience so much, and the parts of being a professional athlete that were restrictive, like contracts or expectations or the assumption that you just film or take photos, was smothering me. And so I think by making this announcement, I'm saying like, I'm interested in storytelling. I'm interested in skiing in all its forms. And we've talked about this before, like celebrating the gnar, but also the like beauty or the joy, not just the suffering. And
Right.
yeah, so I'm like quite excited for these next years and sort of this transition into embracing more of myself as a storyteller.
What made you kind of be like, all right, this is time, like this is the time, like it's the right, was it being on the tour, like working the tour a little bit this year? Was that like watching these people being like commentating on it live? Did that kind of trigger it a little bit? Or what was how did this happen?
Yeah, I mean, realistically, this announcement should have happened like a month ago, but it turns out the tour took over my life. And yeah, I just actually didn't have the time to make sure I had all the wording around it that I wanted. Sophie and I created this film in Japan 2 years ago, and it actually sums up so much of my feelings. And the release was ready now. And so, but it's been building over the last like days, months, years. I think everyone, enough people know my history that it's, life has been not the easiest at times, but out of that, what also became clear to me was that skiing is a way for me to have fun and to have joy. And I think when there's the pressure for it to be like performance and to be pushing the level, I don't have necessarily like a vendetta against extreme, but I also just wanted to reclaim my relationship with skiing, reclaim my relationship with nature, how we use it or revere it, whatever those words mean to you. And yeah, so it's been like building. And I think also my career as a storyteller has been building a lot over the years. And I take that seriously and take the idea of being sort of like a thought leader and helping to shape these communities is super important to me. So I would say it's a slow build and a delayed announcement.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I think this is going to be a great thing for everybody involved. Like, I really think that I think it's a good thing because it gives you the focus. It gives you like one less thing to worry about that you're like, okay, I don't need to like focus so hard on this one thing. I can do what I want to do. And that's like, if I could tell you anything, it's like the best thing that we do here is being able to just do what we want to do and like
Yeah.
chase the things we want to chase and like not have to be so tied to one thing or the other. And I think that that's like a really, really cool power that you're giving yourself here by just like opening up these doors. So I'm so psyched for you.
Yeah. Thanks. I'm psyched too. It was fun too. Like the first day I went skiing this year and realizing like, oh, I'm just skiing kind of for myself. It was
Yeah.
like, I could go back into like I was like, whoa, skiing's so fun. Like
Yeah.
feeling these turns and like, I don't know, without the pressure of like, okay, it's the beginning of the season, you need to be like training hard, like you got to do 12 laps. It was like, I'm going to do laps until it stops. Like my smile goes away and then I'll go in, But yeah, it's been a good, easy transition or whatever you want to call it.
Where can people find you on the internet? Where can people connect with you? And how do people get togs? Like that, by the way, is awesome. Like I'm happy to be a subscriber, but like I think everybody should be a subscriber because there's so much good information there that like both my wife and I are like read it all the time. So where do people get that information? How do people find you?
Yeah, so I am on togs.substack.com with Kellen Wilson, and that's our fashion outdoor newsletter for women and men. And we're really going to try to push more stuff for the guys this next year. So stay tuned for that. I'm on Instagram at Hadhammer. Hadleyhammer.com is my website. Or you can email me if you have a fun story you wanted. Like if someone out there is like, I have a story to tell and I don't know how to tell it. I need help shaping it. I'm like all there for that kind of stuff too. So you can just email me at hadley.hammer@gmail.com.
Awesome.
Just pretty much telling you my home address, I guess.
Just throw out your social, it's fine. Awesome. Next, I wanted to take a moment to talk about this completely viral product that has started to blow up in the ski industry, and that is the Frigid Dynamics Vipera. It is an electric assist ski. Now, how good is it? How does it work? I have no idea, and I can't be the person to tell you that because we haven't tried it yet, but we're going to very, very soon. Basically, I got to chat with some of their team, and what they said is that essentially this is a 20-mile-an-hour capable electric assist touring ski. Now, how does it work? We'll find all that out. Right now, all I can tell you is that it does engage with a button on your ski pole, which is insane. This is what the future is going to be. This stuff is going to be everywhere. You people are complaining about long lift lines. Just get yourself a pair of these and you're going to shoot off into the moon. Now, I don't know how good they are going to be at actually skiing, but that's going to be part of the review as well. So stay tuned for a video coming up on that. That'll be very, very fun. And these guys are based in Massachusetts, so it's actually pretty easy for us to get our hands on a demo. Shout out to Frigid Dynamics, and just a very, very interesting product overall. I've had a lot of weird products come out in the ski industry. Next, we're going to send it to Henry for this week's weather forecast.
Thanks for passing it back to me. Looking ahead at our weather for this week, a much milder week than what we've been dealing with. Overall this winter, it's been cold up north with highs in the single digits and teens for much of the months here. But this week, we're gonna have high temperatures in the 30s, low to mid 30s for really the whole chunk of the week. So definitely warming up, gonna feel quite a bit warmer than how it's felt. For precipitation, not looking at much. We have a clipper system tonight, Monday night, into Tuesday, few inches of snow up north, and then watching Wednesday as well, potentially another light system, rain and snow showers. Any big systems that I'm watching is going to be later on in the week, Friday to the Sunday time frame. Have to watch maybe something more substantial might develop, so watching that as well. But yeah, overall, a much milder week this week. Highs in the 30s across northern New England, New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, New York. So should be pretty comfortable skiing weather to get out there and hit the slopes, and no major wind or no major storm systems, at least through early to mid-week. So keep you guys updated, and yeah, thanks Adam, back to you.
Next, we're going to talk all about Skijoring. Skijoring. That's what we're going to call it for right now. This is the thing that has kind of started to take over a corner of the internet all on its own. There's a big event in Driggs, Idaho this weekend. Insane. Like this is a trip. It's crazy to me that something like this exists. It's also crazy to me that people like Jim Ryan go out there and like make content. Not just make content, they make really, really good content while doing something like this. The whole concept is totally insane to me. Parker White competed last week. This is a totally new avenue of the sport that I did not think I would be obsessed with, but I'm totally obsessed with. So now, last week we talked a little bit about chairlifts falling off. I feel like we are going to end up talking about that every single week if we make that a standard. But another chairlift had an issue and 140 people had to be evacuated. It's crazy that this keeps happening over and over again this season. 2025 came and I feel like the demons got to us. Like I feel like all the things that were not supposed to start happening, all the weird things just coming out of the woodworks in 2025 is making me have a lot of stress for the future. And I'm only talking about the ski industry side of it. There is a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of new product that has become prevalent in 2025. You have boot cap. You have yard sale ski poles, those magnetic clicky boys. You have shred shocks. You have whatever that bag of balls is that we're testing out this week. There's, what else? The Vipera ski that we just mentioned, the electric ski. There's also an Eskimo version of the same product. There's double boa. There's so much stuff coming out, and I'm sure that there is a list that Dahu boot that 7 million people sent us on Instagram. So many insane products are coming out that it's going to be very difficult to figure out who does what is cool, what isn't. I feel like we're finally hitting a stride for innovation in the ski industry that we have not seen in a while. The last 10 years, I don't know how this became a rant, but this is what it's going to end up being. But the last 10 years, I feel like, have been very boring in terms of like innovation and new stuff coming to the industry. Like, what's the biggest thing that's happened in the last 10 years? Like, really think about it. Think about what products have been released, what things have happened. Like, what's the answer? Is the answer BOA? Because that's insane if that's the biggest thing that's happened in a decade. Now again, like, let me preface this by saying I am not suggesting that all of the things that I mentioned before are innovations, but I do think that there's starting to be new spaces carved out in this industry that I think were previously unavailable and unattainable. Now, do I think that shred shocks is going to be a thing that is like innovating the world in a couple years? Not necessarily. I don't think that. But I don't know. There's so much going on in the industry that I'm curious to see like what people think is next in terms of innovation and in terms of updates within the industry, because I don't know how much further we can go than what we're going right now. And I don't like the way that feels. I think that there's got to be some new stuff that comes out, especially on the ski side, that really kind of pushes the narrative a little bit. Like, I can't think of the last time I saw a ski and technology-wise was like, holy crap, they did it. Like, this is it, right? There's been a lot, and skis have gotten so good across the board. And again, I don't know how this became a rant, and I apologize, but skis have gotten so good across the board at this point that everything has kind of just hit this median marker where there's so many good skis. As long as you're picking the right ski for the right category, it's really hard to be like, wow, this is a technology. The last change was rocker, right? Like, that was the thing that actually like was real innovation in skiing. Do I know that that's going to happen again anytime soon? No, I don't know what that's going to be. So you tell me, in ski products in general, where are the biggest areas for innovation available? What products need innovation more than anything else? That's the question this week, as well as one question. If you can figure out what is wrong with the setup behind me, I will send you a prize. Be sure to check out the Out of Collective show, which drops this week for the very first time, and X has a very, very special guest. That show will be very similar to the show that I used to do, with some rotating hosts, so every once in a while you will hear a different voice other than Adam Sourwines. Very, very excited about that. I think that is going to be a great avenue to get those long-form stories out, and I'm excited for everybody to check it out. So check that out on Wednesdays every single week, except for the weeks that he runs the pretty good telemark show. I'll catch you next week. Thanks. Good night.